back to the Couch channel and patch 106. It is so brand spanking new. I haven't even gotten a chance to play it. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But first of all, I want to thank all of you guys for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, your views. It really does help out the channel. The only way the YouTube algorithm works is that if you don't interact with the video or watch the video, it's going to go to less people. If you do, it says, oh, people like you probably like this. Let me recommend it. So thank you guys so much for growing the little bitty channel that could. And before we get to Dungeon Beneath 106, for those of you who don't know, I live in Texas. This is the first thing I've really done in a week. Because last Sunday, if you don't know or you're international, I went to bed and then at 3:30 I had a text message Monday morning, 3:30 a.m. from a team member at my day job who said, I just lost power. And that's when I realized, oh, the cow just lost power too. And that started the Odyssey. Because if you don't know, Texas had a massive winter storm that the power company, in its infinite stupidity, was not prepared for because it's Texas. You don't need to winterize your equipment. The hell yes you do. Because we can still get ice and snow and freezing. It's just usually only 1 or 2 days, really, of it. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just solid winter apocalypse. Everything's closed. Everything's shut down. They had us on these things called rolling blackouts, which meant that I had maybe 1 or 2 hours of power, and then 10 hours of no power. And when it's 0 degrees outside, and it was literally 0 degrees, I double checked it because I was astonished. When it's 0 degrees outside, and you cannot run your heater for 10 hours, you sleep under a pile of blankets and multiple layers of clothes to keep warm. Now, I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me. I don't want you guys to worry about because I'm fine now. And there were a lot of people who had it a lot worse than I did. But that's why I haven't really gotten to do any new content. Thankfully, I am astonished. I'm going to use that word a lot, probably. I'm just blown away by the fact that I kept the daily uploads all this past week. Because, again, I have a day job while I'm doing this. And so I have to pre-record episodes and post them, throughout the week. And then the weekend and Friday night is really when I have a chance to, what do I want to play, what do I want to do? Aside from little looky videos, opinion videos like this, which are really easy to do. You get it in one take. I make some notes here. I've got notes about stuff I want to actually say. I cannot believe I kept the production... Not the production schedule, the posting schedule. Can't believe it happened. But I'm glad you guys got all your videos, and I'm glad that I was able to do it. I'm not going to lie. There was once or twice where you may have noticed, that's weird. Did Cal upload his video at like 2:30 in the morning instead of the evening or late afternoon like he usually does? Yes, because when you only have power from 1 to 4 a.m. and then 8 to 10 hours of no power, guess what? That's when you eat, that's when you post your videos, and that's when you just try to watch a little YouTube or something to try to just keep saying. It was nuts. Friday was better. By that time, there were no power outages. By Friday, there was just consistent power. There's still like millions of people in Texas who have to boil their water. I am blessed that I do not have to boil my water. Or water treatment plant where I live in did not ever go down to where they're worried about it. But that's just a little channel update. If I sound a little scatterbrained, if I sound a little weird, and if there's maybe a couple of late or missed videos over the next week or two, I think I have enough time and videos to keep going. I hope I do. I'm going to have to recheck, double check over the next couple of days why work goes back to normal too. But now that that's just your little mini update, let's talk about something fun. The Dungeon Beneath has finally, it's been like 2 months, updated a new patch. It brings a new hero, new characters, new equipment, new potions, and a whole lot more. Not just more, a whole lot more. So these guys are awesome. They even comment on my videos. I can't believe they know who the hell I am. But these guys are awesome. I knew to look out for this because they said on one of the most recent videos, hey, just so you know, there's a new patch coming out. And I'm like, yes, we're making a video. We are celebrating developers who love their players. So let's just get right down to it. First of all, we have to click here and actually show it. And we have a new hero. I'm already following. Why is it giving me the... My net's been a little weird. But I'm guessing these are new characters. And... all the good stuff. Oh, it's going to be so good. We have a new hero. Xandos the Third. The human hero. No attack. 1 speed. 3 hit points. Okay. Sure. Begins with the Dawn Crown. The young Prince Xandos the Third is a brand new hero. While weaker than other heroes, Xandos begins with the fabled Dawn Crown. This artifact increases your party limit by 1. So that opens up some really cool, interesting possibilities to where you can just... You're going to have 6 instead of 5. Remember, your hero counts as 1. So you're going to have 5 people. I guess that they didn't have enough to, like... I think these are the other 4 new actual characters that will be in this portion of the lane. I'd still like to see Mariana and Jack both be back here. But I don't know. I'm sure that somebody smarter than me is playtesting and it's like, no, dummy, that breaks the game. But that's just my opinion on it. So that is one of those really cool things. Obviously, he has 3 equipment slots. Told you I was going to be scatterbrained. Obviously, he's got 3 equipment slots. So you can give him items to boost his HP. There's there's a necrotic ring that if you really want to play dangerously, takes away 2 hit points and gives you 1 attack. So if you can boost his HP enough to where you feel comfortable giving him one of those 2 things so that he can actually do. This is pretty cool, guys. It brings up a lot of really good... it just expands what you can do. If you've ever said, man, I really want this. And also, it says begins with the fabled Dawn Crown. It does not tell me yes or no. Is the Dawn Crown now an artifact that I can get after I complete one of the sections of the dungeon? Because if it is, that is... I'll tell you this. I think it should be, but it should be among the hardest things to roll. Because 9 out of 10 times, off the top of my head, I think you would take the crown so you can have another body in there. But that's just what I think. We have new characters. Oh, what's this? We have the Tinkerer, a level 3 gnome mage. 4 hit points, 1 attack, 1 speed. At the end of the round, if this unit has power, remember power is the thing where it increases your attack the next time you hit somebody. It summons an immovable bomb that deals 6 damage, which I'm guessing is the Golden Bomb, a construct, which is 1 hit point, no attack, 1 speed, but upon his death, so he can be a blocker, deals 6 damage to all characters in this lane. Remember, this is a row, up and down is a row, this is a lane. So you might hit your hero if you're not careful, and it might hit one other person, but it's 1, 2, potentially 3 people here. The Tinkerer is a blast rim shot. This character has a... Also, I want to point out, that it does not have a front row, back row only, although with 4 hit points, he's probably going to be back row only, but that's okay. This character has a powerful summon ability, but be careful, the Tinkerer requires a large amount of planning to make sure that bombs don't explode in your face. So let's talk about the Tinkerer. At 4 hit points, even though he can be in the front, he's probably going to be in the back unless you give him a ton of equipment. He is considered a mage, probably because science is closest to magic, and I don't see him as a warrior or an archer with 4 hit points, 1 speed, and 1 attack. Also, that 1 speed means he ain't going very fast. So don't count on him beating anybody. He's going to have to sit behind something who'll be defended, because he's going second. He also only has 1 attack. He's also level 3. It doesn't tell me if he has levels 1, 2, and 3. I'm assuming no. I think we're seeing all these guys at their max level, but unfortunately it doesn't tell me which ones are available from the start, which ones are available from the middle, and which ones are available from the last third. Which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We can still strategize. So, the Tinkerer is going... It says summon a immovable bomb, so you cannot move it. That's the first part. The second part is... When he summons, I'm assuming it's going to be like the druid or other animal companion summons. It's going to pick any random open space. Now, he does this at the end of a round, and the bomb has to be killed by an enemy attack. So it can take one hit, then it explodes and deals 6 damage. That's very interesting because what that means is that as long as you have at least 2 slots open, you can conceivably move any characters that you need. The Tinkerer is probably good with characters who have the ability to adjust their position and still get their attack, or with other mages like schemes, like Lizardman schemes, where you get a benefit if you don't get to do the regular attack. So this is a high level character, but I mean that's 7 damage around if you count the Tinkerer's 1 damage base and the 6 from the Golden Bomb. The thing that you want to be careful about is if you accidentally summon too many Golden Bombs in a row, then you're going to start blocking all of your lanes. I have a sip of my soda. And guys, I had to order food because we're still in COVID, as well as I had to get fast food. And man, every place that can serve food right now has got a line around the block, but it's delicious. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I told you, scatterbrained. I'm not on a regular sleep schedule yet, but it's getting better. Don't worry about me. The Elemancer. Here we show him at his max level, which is a level 3 Elemental Mage. 4 hit points, 2 attack, back only, 1. Slow, decent damage, not going to tank a hit if his life depended on him. And he has to be in the back like a lot of mages. When an Elemental is summoned, gains 1 attack. The Elemental is a powerful mage. Every time you summon an Elemental, the Elemental gets 1 attack until the end of a battle. So right away, I love this character. Because it doesn't say gain power 1. Not power, it says gain 1 attack. You get anybody who can summon elementals. And we can look at the book at some point and just go through it. You get anybody who summons an elemental consistently. And the Elemancer is going to just rock. If you can get... Think about it. Even if you only summon 1 element every other round, at the end of 4 or 6 rounds... At the end of 4 rounds, you have attack 4. At the end of 6, 5, 7. It just keeps 8, 9, 10, 11. He just keeps going up. Now, he does need to be defended. He's going to need to be defended. You're going to need to give him some items, definitely. But I really do love this. And I love the way that they're thinking of not just power, but, what's a really cool way to show magical power differently? Because in this game, the characters that you have fall into the 3 bases of mages, archers, and fighters. Fighters are your tanks, mages and archers are your damage. So I like that they're trying to think of different ways to do that. But yeah, this is a really cool character. I want to see him. I'd say 8 out of 10 for Tinkerer. And only because I want to play with him and test him out, as well as he's definitely a high level character. But 8 out of 10 for Tinkerer, only because he's got a learning curve. This is 10 out of 10. This is just... If you have any kind of elemental abilities, summoning abilities in your party, why not take an Elemancer? Why not enjoy him? The Blood Leech. Ooh, it's another... I don't know what they call their Dark Elf type people. I apologize, but it's cool. Here we see him as a level 3 Elf Mage. 5 hit points, 2 attack, back only, speed of 3. So, standard wizard stats. A little... better than the Elementor. He's got an extra hit point, he's got 2 extra speed, but he's still not going first. Doom. Summon a greater blood wisp. Huh. The Blood Leech fits into almost any Doom build, or pair it with the Elementor for unmatched damage. Oh, that is... So yeah, here's the thing. Whenever an enemy opponent dies, he's going to summon a Greater Blood Wisp. And think about Abaddon, where you're just constantly killing things, as well as you can always use more people on the board. So yeah, anytime you kill anything in an Abaddon fight, or any other fight where they can summon, you get another character, you get your Greater Blood Wisp. If you can get him at 1 or 2, I'm sure he probably only starts at level 2, and you can get a regular Blood Wisp if that. But he gets another character, and he does damage, which other people who summon in Doom builds don't have attack. They have 0 attack, remember that. And your Elementor also gets a buff too. The two of these guys paired. And remember, the Elementor attack is going to go up, so he's just going to kill more things, which is going to trigger more Dooms, which is going to summon more Wisps, which is going to brew... Guys, it's the circle of pain. Na people be in a day, and it kills them all. I love this. This is definitely a pairing that we should be trying out. The Tanner, a level 3 human fighter. 5 hit points, 2 attack, no restrictions, 5 speed. Decent but not remarkable, but his ability says, if this character kills an enemy, gain 1 disgust. So he's turning your enemies into hide. That's... Given how many of them are humanoid or undead, that's a little disgusting and disturbing. But okay, let's go for it. Let's get it done. Come on. While the Tanner is weaker than most characters, they can make you rich. Just make sure to swap them out before Abaddon. So, yeah, I want to guess that he can be gotten really early in the dungeon. And then you just want to set him up to kill stuff. Because he's going to put on the gold. You use the gold through the first and second portions of the dungeon to just, buy extra items, buy extra potions, buy whatever characters you want, reroll the characters you want at recruiting campfires. And then, when you get to the third section, you shake the man's hand and you replace him with a fully maxed out level 3 person who fits in the rest of your build. This is potentially cool. And I'm going to give him 9 out of 10 because this is obviously 10 out of 10. If these guys are together, you've turned it up to 11. But the Tanner is 9 out of 10, and here's why. I love this kind of outside-of-the-box thinking, which is, what's a good character we can put into the game that you should never take to Abaddon? Now, of course, you can give him equipment. You can boost his abilities really well. That's fine. But he's obviously, with a base 2 attack at level 3, he's obviously not meant, and only 5 hit points, he's not meant to be a tank, guys. He's meant to get you a lot of gold in the first and second portions of the game, and then to be replaced in the third part before you get to the final boss. And I love that kind of outside-the-box thinking. I want to see modes, I want to see characters, I want to see all this good stuff. It's wonderful. The Smuggler, our final character. Oh wait, hey, there were 5 people here. I feel like that's a missed opportunity, guys, because this guy has the crown, and you could have put the mate drow guy here, the dark elf dude here, and you could have said, hey, by the way, did you notice in this picture you had 5 characters? It's because Xandos can have 5 characters. Missed opportunity, guys, come on. Really, come on. It's okay, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity to showcase it off. But he's another Lizardfolk. I do like, the Lizardfolk have been growing on me. Fighter, 5 hit points, to attack, frontline, only 5 speed. Nothing to write home about. When you hire this character, you gain 2 gold for every allied Lizardfolk. And upon his death, you gain 2 gold. Similar to the Tanner, the Smuggler gives Lizardfolk builds a powerful economy play. Yeah, I can see that. So you've got 2 or 3 other lizard people. You grab your Smuggler early in the game. He gives you 4 to 6 extra gold. You put him in the front. He tanks. You want him to die as much as possible because he not only tanks 2, 3 hits or more, but then he gives you an extra 2 gold at the end of the fight. Yeah, I can see. That's really, really good because Lizardfolk definitely need I feel like they need a few more items and equipment, as well as you need a lot of lizard people. So they need that economy build to help get them up. 8 out of 10, yeah. I love all these characters. Just throwing numbers around. I love all these characters. They're really great. Character stats. We've added character stats. The Book of Champions now tracks a variety of stats for each character, accessible by hovering over the magnifying glass. We'll have to look at that next time we're making new stuff. Additionally, any characters that defeat Abaddon are given a special medal in the Book of Champions. Oh, that's cool, so you can tell who has gone all the way and killed Abaddon. I like that. New items. Hell yeah, baby. We'll introduce the items that are restricted to specific character types. The Immortal Belt, dwarf only. Counter restore one. Oh, I love that. I love tanky dwarves. This really, really helps because that's cool. I love that. They've added so much stuff to the game that I would like to see more modes that are longer than the original dungeon crawling mode, because I feel like we need to just be able to do lots of stuff. The Sanguine Wand, elves only. After the first round, summons a Blood Wisp. That's really cool because that means that you can also do Elemental with this. Because a Blood Wisp is still going to be like a Greater Blood Wisp. It's going to be an Elemental. It's going to power him up. So right away, they're already including stuff that goes in. That's great. The Necrotic Wand, elves only. At the end of a round, deals 1 damage to the lowest health enemy. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. I want to ask, I don't think it's true, but I know like certain characters spawn with those little certain fights spawn with the little demons that cannot be hurt. I don't think the little demon can tank that though. I think he only has hit points because there's probably some back-end immune ability in the game. I don't think that you can ever deal damage to him because I've tried even with AoEs from like Pyromancer and stuff. You can't deal damage to him. But that's still pretty cool. The Green Scale Wand, elf only. Round end, give an random allied beast 1 armor. If you're doing a beast build, that's really good, but I don't feel like that's necessarily a great one. I mean, because armor unfortunately doesn't last, it goes away. I mean, that's if you got a huge beast build, then yeah. You're making them able to tank, but really, most beasts can't really. Half the beasts are birds, and they can't tank even with 1 armor. I mean, if you have wolves and you keep them alive a while, it could probably keep them alive a couple extra rounds. It's not bad, it just doesn't wow me like the other 3 did. The Martyr's Plate for humans only. Death gives 1 attack to all allies. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. You give him to somebody who isn't very good. You give it to the human who you know dies almost every single fight, and suddenly you have an extra. It says to all allies, it better even hits your hero. Yeah, that's an extra 4 damage a turn. That's going to add up. That's cool. The Noble Plate, humans only. Gains 1 hit points upon your death. Gains 1 gold. Not bad. First of all, I like anything that adds XP, it's great. And 1 gold is really good as well. You could, yeah. I wouldn't pair it with somebody wearing Martyr's Plate because I want the person wearing Martyr's Plate to die, and Noble Plate gives you 1 hit point. So you're making it harder to get the attack bonus, and you don't want to do that. Chainmail, human only. 2 hit points, -1 speed. I like that. -1 speed's not terrible. 2 hit points is at least 1 extra hit most of the time. I love it. The Lightning Fang, Lizardfolk only. At the end of the round, gain 1 power. Huge. That's really damn good. That's really, really good. I love that. That they're doing really great in this update, I think, about making lizard builds better, and I love it. The Poisonous Fang, Lizardfolk only. Attacks apply. Again, really cool. Now, you can grab a couple of these better lizard men, and you can put them in a poison build if you want to, or you can have a hybrid lizard poison build. Really fantastic. And then the Venom Cap. Cap. It's a cap, but I'm saying it that way on purpose. Cap. It's gnome only, and as a follow-up, deal 1 damage to all poison enemies. Oh, that's really good for poison. So remember, follow-up means I have to have my turn. So when the gnome hits and attacks, after he's done that, he deals 1 damage to everyone who's poisoned. That's really good, and I like it. They've also added 2 new potions to the wizard shop. The witch's shop. Potion of Transformation transforms an archer into a random level 3 character. The character loses all their equipment consumable. Ooh. If you have an archer and in the early game you luck out with a Potion of Transformation roll, you get a random level 3 character. There's not really that many terrible level 3 characters. That's interesting. That's going to make some really hard choices. I like seeing extra potions in the witch's shop because, 9 times out of 10, you're buying the XP stuff. But I like that a lot. And the Mirroring Potion transforms a fighter into a basic copy of a random party member. The character loses all their equipment. So it randomly picks another person in the party and it turns you into a basic copy. I don't know if basic copy means level 1 or if it matches the level. Obviously it means that you don't get to carry over their equipment. But here's the thing. Those acolytes I think are counted as human fighters. So if you still have an acolyte for whatever reason, you see one of this, you can use this to just transform them into another version of a character in your party. That could be fun. It's not bad. It could be fun. Quality of life improvements. God, I love quality of life improvements. You can now click anywhere or use the spacebar to skip dialogue. That's cool. There's not much dialogue in the game, but, skip. You can now change your difficulty for the daily. Thank you so much. It was so annoying to have to, because I'm getting to a point where I'm going to up the regular difficulty when I'm doing the regular game. And it's so annoying to have to start a regular game and then stop and then back out and then come into daily challenge on the regular difficulty. That's cool. So weakened is now cursed. This was causing some confusion as weakness implies the character does less damage. I never had that problem, but I'm going to applaud it because I can definitely see weakness could easily be read as that until you could accidentally make a wrong move and get wiped the first time. So yeah, that's good. More people need to play this game, and you don't want to dumb the game down, but you do need to make it accessible. Updated tutorials. Nice. Again, more people need to play this game. You need to make it accessible. Character updates. Hypogene now has the scheme restore 1 health for each allied Lizardfolk. Previously gained armor rather than restoring health. Yes, I like that a lot because Hypogene has a good health pool. You go put them in lizard builds anyway. And again, my problem with armor is that it's not persistent with the exception of certain items or classes. You lose it almost always. Use it or lose it. And so this really makes him a lot better. This means he can dance around and tank a lot better. So I like that. The Divine Protector now has 6, level 9, 12. So level 1, 6, level 2, 9, level 3, 12 health at 1, 2, 3, yeah. Previously was 6, 7, 8. Yes, fantastic. Divine Protector, as you remember, is the guy with the shield and the mace who, when he dies at level 1, he gains 1 random mage a shield. At level 2, he gives all mages a shield, and at level 3, he just gives everyone in your party a shield. So you do want him to die, but at 8 health and 1 attack, which is, I don't think he ever gains any attack power, he was just so far down that he was not worth the tank. You want him to die so they can gain shields, but you don't want him to die too early in the fight because the shield only tanks 1 blow. So this is this is making him a lot more, it's a hell of a buff too. You're giving him 50% more health at the end of his level tree. It's a really great buff. I hope it makes him a lot more usable. But we'll see. Guon now has the scheme, gives 1 or 2 power, so probably level 2, 1, level 3, 2, to all allied Lizardfolk. Previously, it did not target itself. That's fine. That's good. You really do. Again, you want to make these more. Lizardfolk was really fun builds, and you've seen me play them, but they're not necessarily as viable as Doom, Heal, Poison, Mage, Fighter builds. And I'm talking pure. You can always like make a Frankenstein hybrid build, and they'll do really well if they have any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? If they can bounce off of each other, if they can like cross pollinate really well. But yeah, this new lizard character up here helps with their economy, and then you've buffed two of their people to where they do a lot better. I like it. Sage of the Word, which I believe is the blue-robed dude, now has Hope give 1/2 power to a random ally. Previously, Sage of the Word had Hope gain 1 power. That's an interesting change. So it's random ally. You cannot. I don't know if that means that it might also hit the hero or not. Probably doesn't, but we'll have to test and see. Previously, he would just give it to himself whenever somebody was healed. And that was fine. It helps that it spreads it out, but it's balanced by the fact that you can't control where it goes. It can go into another row, into another lane, or just randomly across the board. But again, it's also balanced out that at max level he now gives 2 hit. So this is a little harder to use, but overall it's a good buff. It's a helpful buff. Because now if you do any healing, then next round you guys are going to be hitting for 2 or 4. Usually you can only heal once or twice a round. You can do more, you can do 3 or higher, but I think it's safe to say you can count starting the second round when people are taking damage, you can count on getting 1 or 2 heals off a round with a Hope build. But now, the next round, you are dealing extra damage, which helps tear through the enemy, as well as you healing. So, people will last on the board longer because you're healing. They're also going to hit harder. And spreading around really helps it with, like, Abaddon builds and stuff. It says to a random ally, I don't think Sage of the Word is going to be giving it to himself. Relic changes. These are all really good character updates. I like them. We've updated 4 relics to make them less restrictive. Thanks for this. Zoknar, you are the boss, because apparently you've made some good suggestions. The Tarian Scripture. Allied beasts and lizardfolk gain 1 health, was previously allied beasts gain. Nice. That's a good one, because first of all, when you think it's canonically fine. You'd think lizardfolk would match with beastfolk. I know they have that Minotaur hero, so it helps with their main build as well. There's nothing wrong with everybody gaining 1 health, and allied beasts gain 1 health is so restrictive that I don't think it even ever came up when I was running a beast build. And there was no reason to ever take it, so that's good. Hammer of the Old Earth. Allied dwarves and gnomes gain 2 health. Previously, allied dwarves gained 2 health. It's not huge, but if you're making like a dwarf build, now you can put gnomes in the build, and you don't have to worry about getting all dwarves anymore. So, again, anything that expands is good. Arbiter's Cloaked. Allied elves and elementals gain 3 speed. Previously allied. Fantastic, because speed is one of the least useful stats that you can get. And let's go back up here. Elf Mage summons an elemental. Not an elf mage, but still, you can grab, if you have these 2 guys, now you can give him more speed and the elemental more speed. Good. It's good. And then finally, the Book of the Law. Allied humans and dwarves gain 1 health. Previously, allied humans. Again, you're just making it easier to build out wider variety of teams. Wonderful. And then a couple of other balance changes. Bitter Tooth now spawns with fewer rats in most cases. That's probably fine. Bitter Tooth, I think, is the guy who, when you kill a rat, he spawns a rat. And every once in a while, I just had like a really funny moment where he was a lot more bloody than it should be, but that's okay. The Servant of Fire now has less health on New Game Plus and higher. Is that the genie? I want to say that's the genie. No, it's not the genie. Can't remember who Servant of Fire is, but he was obviously lasting on the board longer than he should have. Same thing with our next one. The Mind Reaver now has less health. Obviously, they were lasting too long on the board. And, you want a variety of builds, but not every build is going to be great at outlasting the enemy, so you want to be careful about what you get. So, yeah. Having less on the board is fine. Headless Simuli no longer attack random enemies. Instead, they will move after attacking. That's better because you're at least able to plan. When you kill a zombie in the game, he respawns as a headless one. He loses his turn if he hasn't attacked that round, but then he would just randomly hit any of your characters, which means that you could not defend your mages, which was annoying. But this is better because dancing around the board is fine. It means that you have to have a well-balanced team or a very mobile team to deal with them, so I'm okay with this. It's going to make the middle dungeon possible boss of the vampire dude whose pool will spawn a zombie every round. It's going to make him a little harder to deal with, but that's okay. The Corrupted Altar will now deal 2 damage rather than apply weakness or curse. That's probably the one balance change that makes it harder, because 2 damage is a lot. In just 3 rounds, you've taken an extra 6 damage. With curse and weakness, you could have danced around and tanked, but now you have to just take the damage. So it prevents sudden massacres, but it means that the longer the fight goes, the harder it is because you're going to be taking that punch. It's probably a good balance change, but man, I used to be pretty good about dancing around that a little, so that kind of sucks. Do you have thoughts for what I like to see in game? Let us know on our forums or in this video, which is what I've done. Guys, thank you. As always, thanks for playing. Well, thank you for making a fun game. So, it's going to be a while before I get to new episodes with this kind of stuff. I still have a bit of backlog on this, but that's okay. We will be doing more. Thank you, guys. And as you can see, look at this is how dedicated the cow is. I'm exhausted. Terrible week. Sunday, February 22nd. Sunday, February 22nd. Wonderful. That's how much I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about all these characters. Did I miss something that's really cool or really dangerous or difficult about any of this stuff? And hey, what would you like to see? Again, I will reiterate, I would like Mariana to spawn Jack in this row, because that 1/1 character is just not useful after the first third of the dungeon. But that's just, I'm pushing for it. It's going to happen one day. I'm going to get it done. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, venture forth into the dungeon for riches and terror and Abaddon still sitting there on his dumb butt throne. And let's knock him off. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Stay safe. And bye.